Welcome back, everyone. It's Finance Friday, another special edition of Money Girl, where I answer all your burning money questions. Today's topic comes from Cindy D., who says, I'm 38 and late in retirement planning, but I'm lucky to have a job with substantial earning potential. I built my retirement account from zero to $100,000 in 3 years. I have a 401k with employer matching that I max out. I can also make in-plan mega backdoor Roth conversions up to the $69,000 limit. I have some brokerage accounts, a high-yield savings, and a health savings account. My goal is to retire by age 50 or 52. I'm curious if I should be using non-retirement accounts. Also, would you talk about using a Roth IRA conversion ladder to achieve early retirement? Cindy, thank you so much for your question. I love that you've gotten serious about investing and planning to retire early. You've covered a lot in your question, and in this podcast, I'll review what a Roth ladder is and ways to create income as an early retiree. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me on episode 875. I'm Laura Adams, an award-winning author, finance spokesperson, money speaker, founder of The Money Stack, a Substack newsletter, and host of Money Girl with over 43 million downloads. If you're getting value from the free content we love creating, I'd love for you to subscribe and maybe think about submitting a 5-star rating or review on your podcast app. That would mean a lot to me and everyone who produces the show. And if you've got a question about money or a comment, leave it on our voicemail at 302-364-0308. You can also send me an email and sign up for the free Money Stack newsletter when you visit lauradadams.com. So before we dig into Cindy's question about a Roth ladder, let's do a quick review of Roth IRAs. A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account. It's available to anyone with qualified income under certain limits. You fund a Roth with after-tax money. So in other words, you have to pay income taxes on your Roth contributions in the year you make them. For 2024, you can contribute an amount equal to your qualified income up to $7,000 or up to $8,000 if you're over age 50. The significant benefit you get from a Roth, and why I'm always recommending them, is that your account earnings grow tax-free. So when you withdraw in retirement, your original contributions and the account growth are entirely tax-free, which is an amazing benefit. However, you can only contribute to a Roth IRA if your income is below an annual threshold. For 2024, single taxpayers with modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI, of $161,000 or more, and married couples filing jointly with MAGI of $240,000 or more cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. So those are the cutoffs. Another benefit of a Roth IRA is that you can withdraw your contributions tax and penalty-free anytime. That's because you already pay tax on them. However, withdrawing account earnings before 59.5 would result in income taxes plus an additional 10% penalty unless you qualify for a penalty exemption. So again, that's just on the earnings portion of the account. In general, once you reach 59.5 and your Roth IRA has been open for at least 5 years, you can withdraw contributions and earnings tax and penalty free. Now, where the whole concept of a Roth conversion comes in is because a Roth IRA has relatively low annual contribution limits. And as I mentioned, it prohibits high earners from making contributions. So that makes it really difficult for many people to get enough money into a Roth. But there is a workaround for boosting your Roth balance called a Roth conversion. A conversion allows anyone with pre-tax money, like in a traditional retirement account, like a 401k or a traditional IRA, to pay income taxes on funds you take out of that account and move over to a Roth IRA. But you do have to pay taxes on those funds. And this is available to anyone regardless of income. While voluntarily paying taxes on retirement funds and moving them over to a Roth may seem unappealing, Once they're in the Roth IRA, once you've done the conversion, those funds grow entirely tax-free, and that could save you a massive amount of taxes over the long term. So consider the following benefits of doing a Roth conversion. Unlike Roth IRA contributions, Roth conversions have no income limits, making them ideal for high earners, really making them ideal for anyone. Unlike a Roth IRA, Roth conversions have no annual contribution limits. That $7,000 or $8,000 that I mentioned does not apply when we're talking about conversions. And I'm going to guide you a little bit on knowing the right amount to convert if you choose to do Roth conversions in a moment. And unlike a traditional pre-tax IRA, you can withdraw your Roth IRA contributions and conversions before 59.5 penalty-free, giving you an income source if you retire early. However, there is something called the Roth conversion 5-year rule. So Roth conversions are subject to this 5-year rule, which says you have to wait 5 years before you can withdraw any portion of a conversion penalty-free. While you can withdraw your regular Roth IRA contributions tax and penalty-free at any time or age, that's not the case for converted funds. Converted are kind of like their own special category. Once you make a Roth conversion, a 5-year clock starts, and the funds have to stay in the account for at least that long before you pull them out. If you withdraw your converted principal or earnings early, it triggers a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Plus, you would owe income taxes on the earnings portion because that's a portion that has not been taxed yet. The 5-year period starts at the beginning of the year you do a conversion. So, for instance, let's say you want to convert traditional IRA funds to a Roth IRA in November 2024. In that case, your clock actually starts back on January 1, 2024. So that means you could withdraw the money without penalty anytime after January 1, 2029. Now, let's pivot and talk about this Roth IRA conversion ladder that Cindy asked about. Building a Roth conversion ladder is one way to help you avoid penalties and create a wise tax savings strategy for retirement. It's a series of conversions, or you want to think about them as rungs on a ladder that become available to you penalty-free on a rolling basis after their respective 5-year periods are complete. A Roth ladder is also a tax-saving strategy where you make multiple Roth IRA conversions over several years instead of making one large conversion. And that's critical because each conversion increases your taxable income for the year. For instance, let's say you're single, you earn $45,000, and you want to do a $30,000 Roth conversion. Well, now you've got $75,000 of taxable income. For 2024, a single taxpayer with earnings up to $47,150 pays a tax rate of 12%. However, amounts above that limit get taxed at 22%, almost double. So your conversion bumped you into the next higher tax bracket, causing you to pay 22% tax on a portion of your conversion, on $27,850 of your $30,000 conversion. So, it's not that higher rate of tax on your entire income, but that higher rate of tax in that particular bracket. The bottom line is that converting all your funds at once may require you to pay taxes at a much higher rate than is necessary. So a better strategy is to make several smaller conversions over multiple years, breaking up the taxes so you stay in the lowest bracket possible based on your income and tax filing status. So how do you build a Roth IRA conversion ladder? Well, since each conversion has its own 5-year clock, as I mentioned, you must start building your ladder at least 5 years before you plan to retire. That ensures you'll avoid taxes and penalties if you must tap your Roth IRA for income before age 59 and a half. For example, let's say you're 45 and you want to retire at 50 like Cindy. To build a Roth IRA conversion ladder, you'd start by doing your first Roth conversion at age age 45. So that would allow you to withdraw those funds without penalty when you're 50. And you might continue building your Roth ladder by doing a conversion each year until you're 55. The funds you convert at 55 would be penalty-free when you're 60. And remember, once you're age 59 and a half, you no longer need a conversion ladder to tap your Roth penalty-free, because at 59 and a half, you have reached the official retirement age. As I mentioned, you must carefully make every Roth conversion so you don't push your taxable income into a higher tax bracket than you like. You might make smaller or larger conversions each year based on how much room you have to fill up your highest tax bracket. So let's review the pros and cons of Roth IRA laddering. The main reason to consider a Roth ladder is that you create a source of tax-free income before age 59 and a half. Plus, making multiple smaller conversions can reduce taxes when strategically keeping your taxable income from jumping into a higher tax bracket. Roth conversions allow you to put as much money in a tax-free account as you wish, even if you earn too much to make Roth IRA contributions. And the downsides of laddering include paying income taxes on converted amounts. Plus, you must have enough money already saved in a traditional retirement account to fund conversions in the first place. And due to the 5-year waiting period, if you don't start early enough, tapping your Roth IRA before each conversion is seasoned, you'll owe a 10% early withdrawal penalty plus income taxes on your post-conversion earnings. Cindy asked about other sources of income for an early retiree, and there certainly are other ways other than a Roth ladder. One you might think about is something Cindy mentioned. She said she's got access to a 401k with in-plan Roth conversions. Those are known as a mega backdoor Roth. If you're interested in learning more about that, I won't go into it here because I did a whole podcast in episode 835 called How to Use a Mega Backdoor Roth Conversion. So check that out to learn much more about that powerful strategy. Cindy also mentioned having a health savings account, or HSA. I cover how to use an HSA in retirement in episode 803 called HSA Hacks, How to Optimize Your Health Savings Account. Cindy asked about investing in a non-retirement account like a taxable brokerage. Cindy, that should definitely be part of any early retirement plan because a brokerage is incredibly flexible and penalty-free. Additionally, you may have a workplace pension or purchase an annuity in retirement for lifetime income. And if you qualify for Social Security retirement, you need to carefully consider the right time to claim benefits. You've got between age 62 and 70 to do it. And there's something else to consider called a 72T plan. This is a little-known rule that allows you to avoid early withdrawal penalties regardless of age. It allows you to set up a plan to take substantially equal periodic payments from your retirement account, like a traditional IRA or even a Roth IRA. You can also set up a 72T distribution for a workplace plan, like a 401k or 403b, if you no longer work for your employer. The problem is that a 72T plan comes with restrictions and some negative consequences if you don't use it correctly. It's important to understand that once you begin taking 72T distributions, you can't stop taking them for a certain period. Once the plan begins, you must take the periodic payments for a minimum of 5 years or until you turn 59 and a half, whichever is longer. In other words, if you start a 72T plan at age 50, you'd have to continue payments for 9.5 years until you're 59 and a half. After you complete a series of 5-year distributions or reach age 59 and a half, you can take retirement distributions any way you like. However, for most traditional accounts, once you reach age 73, you generally must take annual required minimum distributions, whether you used a 72T plan or not. Another consideration is that you can't make new contributions to your retirement account or add rollovers while you take 72T payments. And of course, all distributions that were not previously taxed will be subject to ordinary income tax. Taking 72T payments can be a smart way to tap your retirement funds early without penalty. However, figuring out the allowable payment schedule is a bit complex, so you want to get help from a qualified tax professional if that's something of interest. Taking too little, too much, or missing a 72T distribution deadline can result in owing income tax and paying a 10% early withdrawal penalty, plus interest calculated from the original date you made an error. Cindy, you and every early retiree should weigh your options carefully and get help from a qualified financial professional or retirement planner. You must have a solid plan that ensures you never run out of money, no matter how long your retirement lasts. Thanks again so much for your question. Before we go, a quick reminder to subscribe to The Money Stack, my weekly newsletter, when you visit lauradadams.com. It's filled with money tips, tools, news, challenges, and things I enjoy. You can subscribe for free or support the show as a paid member and get access to live educational events like my upcoming Smart Investing Masterclass. That's all for now. I'll talk to you soon. Until then, here's to living a richer life. Money Girl is a quick and dirty tips podcast, and we have an amazing team that I want to thank. Steve Rickyberg audio engineers the show. Brandon Gachis is our director of podcasts. Holly Hutchins is our digital operations specialist. Morgan Christensen is our advertising operations specialist. Davina Tomlin is our marketing and publicity associate. And Nathaniel Hoops is our marketing contractor.